thinking about what others are thinking. Today we're going to be talking about thinking about others. And there's lots that goes into thinking about others. It's a big thing. We're going to break it down. And today just talk about figuring out what other people are thinking. And when we figure out what other people are thinking, all we can do is make a smart guess. We just have to make a smart guess based on the clues that we have. So when we're walking around, we are social detectives. We are using the clues that we see to figure out what people are thinking. That's called perspective taking. When we think about others, the first thing we want to think about is the context. The context just means where we're at, what we're doing, and what's the event. The other clues that we use are looking at the person's body. We want to look at their face. What are their eyebrows doing? What are their eyes doing? What's their mouth doing? Then we want to look at their whole body. Is their body moving away from us, or is it getting closer? Are they doing something with their hands that we need to pay attention to? The other thing we think about is the words the person's saying. What words are coming out of their mouth? And then, along with the words, what's their tone of voice? Are they talking in a loud tone of voice? Are they using a quiet tone of voice? Do they sound sarcastic, which means maybe they're saying something that they don't really mean? We'll talk about that more in another lesson. So now we're going to look at some examples. We're going to look at a picture and use the clues that we just talked about to figure out what the person might be thinking. All right, what did you think? What was that person looking at with her eyes? She was looking at that brown wet spot on the table that kind of looked like chocolate milk. What did she have on her hands? Some gloves, right? And she's holding a spray bottle with some green liquid in it. We can make a smart guess that that's probably some sort of cleaning product that's going to help her clean up that spot. And then also, she has a rag in her hand. Those are all pretty big clues that she wants to clean up that spot. How did she feel about that? Does she look angry? What do you think? Were her eyebrows down? Did she have an angry look on her face? Not really. No, she wasn't angry. She just looks like, well, this is something that I have to get cleaned up. She didn't look happy about it, but she didn't look mad. Okay, let's look at another picture. All right, what did you think about that one? What was that person thinking? What clues did you see? What did you notice about the person's face? I noticed that his lips were pursed or tight. Kind of looks silly when I do it. His head is turned towards the side. That means he doesn't really want anything to do with that person. He's not looking at whoever he's communicating with, which means he doesn't want to think about that person. Also, his hand was out. That hand motion means stop. Stop whatever you're doing. Stop, I don't want to hear about it. He's saying, stop, I do not want to hear any more about that. Let's look at another picture. Hey, what clues did you see in that picture that helps you make a smart guess about what the person is thinking about. I noticed that the person's head was down, her eyes are closed, and she's doing this with her hand. She has a big scarf wrapped around her neck, and behind her are some clues that give me a hint about the context. If you look carefully, it looks like she might be in a pharmacy. A pharmacy is like a drugstore where we go to get medicine. On the shelves behind her, it looks like there's different kinds of products that she could buy. Also, she has her coat on. When you have a coat and a scarf on, and you have shelves of products behind you, that's a pretty big hint that you're not at home. So she has gone somewhere. Where do you think? Probably a drugstore or a pharmacy. And she doesn't look like she feels very good. Based on the clues, her head down, her eyes closed, and this kind of motion, she's coughing into her hand or sneezing into her hand, which we don't really do anymore. But in that picture, that's a good hint. Now we might see somebody like, or chew, right? Sneezing or coughing into their elbow. But in this picture, we can make a smart guess that this person is thinking, I don't feel very good. We can make a smart guess that she's at the pharmacy to get some medicine to maybe help her feel better. Okay. Let's look at another picture. What is that person thinking? What clues did you see? Did you notice any context clues? What about his facial expression or his body language? I noticed that this person is looking at a book. There's a book in front of him, and there's kind of a little finger point. He's pointing to something in that picture. And the facial expression. The boy is smiling. Those are a lot of clues that we can make smart guesses about. We can make a smart guess that he's thinking about the book. He's looking at the book, he's thinking about the book, it looks like he's reading the book. And he's happy about it. He has a big smile on his face. And his other hand just looks like maybe it's just getting ready to turn the page. Is that what you thought? Are those the smart guesses you made?